is outside the White House and was only moments ago caught up with Jensen Huang today. Hey, Scott, Megan, you're absolutely correct. We have spent the entire morning outside the White House because the Biden administration met with leading tech CEOs this morning to discuss artificial intelligence. As you've indicated, we've hooked up with Jensen Huang of Nvidia after seeing Sam Altman of OpenAI, Ruth Porat of Google, Dario Amodei of Anthropic, and Brad Smith of Microsoft. We had a brief conversation with him regarding the 2024 election, that meeting, artificial intelligence, and his opinions on all of these topics. Let's listen in. We've got the tape for you. Could you inform us about today's meeting? We are discussing energy, the new industry known as AI factories, and artificial intelligence. It is clear that we are at the start of a new industrial revolution, and this industry will produce intelligence, energy, and of course, a lot of excellent computer science and large computing systems, like those made by Nvidia, are required for this industry to function. Therefore, we must ensure that everyone is aware of the upcoming demands, as well as the opportunities and difficulties they present, and that we address them in the most effective and scalable manner possible, of course. Do you believe that the federal government should play a part in this case by combining private and federal investment? Given the extremely rapid growth rate, public-private cooperation is most likely going to be required in this field. Although training artificial intelligence requires a significant amount of energy, using the model is ultimately more important than training it. And whether it is used in healthcare, climate technology, or simply power grid operations, artificial intelligence has the potential to significantly reduce energy consumption. I believe that people are struggling with the magnitude of the opportunities, and of course, the magnitude of the challenges that lie ahead. So cooperation between the public and private sectors will be necessary. Do you believe that the United States is currently doing enough to compete with nations like China? This administration's commitment to completing tasks as quickly and efficiently as possible says volumes about the purpose of today's meeting, so it's fantastic. Is there now enough funding for it? I don't think anyone else in the world could realistically capitalize on this amazing new industry if our nation doesn't have the funds. I believe that people are beginning to understand that artificial intelligence, AI, represents a new approach to software development, not merely a new branch of computer science. The computer business will undoubtedly undergo a transformation, but it will also give rise to a completely new sector that generates knowledge and cognitive skills. This is going to be a big industry. As you might imagine, it will be the most exciting new industry the world has ever seen. Would you mind answering a brief query regarding export controls? Are there any U.S. policies that you would like to see changed to ensure that you can sell internationally? The complexity of issues like supply chain resilience, industrial resilience, export control, and national security is something that this government is aware of. Naturally, we want the U.S. industry to be as strong as possible so that American standards may be exported globally and the rest of the world can be based on them. Naturally, national security is of paramount importance, and we must simultaneously protect all of that. This explains why the work of policymakers is so challenging. They must strike a balance between these many demands and ensure that we have an excellent strategy that manages to keep everything in the air and prospering. Therefore, I believe that the most crucial thing for us to do is to make sure that we fully adhere to the policies and let the administration know what we know about the technology and the industries we are developing. Could I ask you one more tariff-related question? There is a lot of discussion surrounding possible universal tariffs of 10 to 20%, and perhaps up to 60% on China in light of this election. Are you worried about the policy in general, or about how that might affect Nvidia's company specifically? Well, I don't know anything about most of that stuff. As one of the few firms in the world that supports every AI company worldwide, I believe our company assists industries all over the world. We work in retail, e-commerce, logistics, healthcare, and transportation. We really service a rather wide range of industries, after all. I have faith that the government will make wise choices because, as you can see, all of these issues are complex and call for careful consideration. Yes, without a doubt. Business executives frequently talk about stability, particularly in relation to this election. Do you think one candidate is better than the other, particularly in terms of maintaining a? As a result, I'd appreciate the difficulties facing the administration, but we must also work to make American technologies the best and safest option available. And we want our industry to serve as the foundation for the rest of the world's industries. Therefore, stability is important, and we must, of course, keep being the greatest, which is something that American businesses are adept at. I think it's going to be fantastic as long as we have stability. How about taxes? It is clear that these two contenders have quite different positions on whether to raise the corporation tax rate to 28% or lower it to as low as 15%. Do you have any preferences or ideas about how that might affect Nvidia? We support it regardless of the tax rates, As easy as that. This business, I believe, was founded in America. It profited from all of the nation's resources, including its incredible intellectual capital, infrastructure, and backing. Therefore, we are happy to pay back as much as possible through taxes. Of course. Therefore, no recommendations at this time. Building our business, developing our technology, and assisting the administration are our top priorities. Of course. Do you have any updates on NVIDIA's future plans? As you are aware, we are currently entering our next generation and beginning the manufacture of Blackwell. We strive to improve performance significantly with each generation, and when we bring in new generations with 3 or 4 times the performance, we are effectively cutting the cost of artificial intelligence and computing by the same amount. We're eager to get to Blackwell because every generation lowers energy use, boosts performance, and lowers costs. We are currently producing Blackwell in large quantities, and every business in the globe is eager for us to send it to them. So you heard it all there, Scott. There are many policy details to sort through. He discussed the necessity of public-private collaboration in the development of AI. He stated that they would support any business tax policy that was available, but he was unwilling to make any promises regarding the 2024 election. He discussed the importance of stability, particularly with regard to export controls, and expressed his hope for stability under the incoming administration. I'll let you all get through it, but Jensen Huang has a lot to say. Even though the stock was down almost 30 points from its peak, it was still one of the S&P 500's performing stocks for the year. In order to get this additional bun stock humming again, what happened? Regarding this, CEO Jensen Huang addressed some of the unanswered questions regarding the company's Blackwell supercomputer chip, which has been the subject of conjecture regarding poor performance, lost chances, and, less realistically, concerns regarding the true demand for AI hardware and a market rife with fakes. Jensen made the decision to rectify the situation because Nvidia has been the focus of a lot of criticism. First, the man I call Da Vinci, because he is a modern-day Renaissance man, stated that we aren't telling the narrative correctly during a fireside discussion with David Solomon, CEO of Goldman Sachs, during the FS Core Communicopia Plus Tech Conference. In addition to being at the forefront of the AI movement, NVIDIA is also the industry leader in accelerated computing, where its GPUs will eventually replace nearly all of the older, slower chips. After 2 robbers, he said something that caused the stock to soar for days. NVIDIA's detractors and skeptics have been claiming that the company's groundbreaking Blackwell chip is too difficult to produce and could not be able to be mass-produced before 2024. False. We are ramping Blackwell, and it's in full production, Jensen stated. The demand for it is really high, and everyone wants to be the first. We plan to ship in Q4 and begin scaling in Q4 into next year. Indeed, everyone aspires to be the best, and everyone aspires to be, so the intensity is very truly remarkable. The script is unaltered except for grammatical problems, which are fixed in this revision.